All right, everybody, so I think I got things sorted out. So as you can see, our balloon, geez, shots fired. Our balloon is still a balloon, which is good. Check for sound. As you can see, our balloon, that's good. It's fired. Our balloon, all right, so our balloon is still a balloon. This is a Totex balloon. This is the proper balloon to be using. We're gonna go launch this thing. It's dumping rain, so I've got the heater turned off, okay? I've got a smaller cylinder of helium that I'm gonna go bring in right now. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to like share the tracking for this. I think I'm gonna put the tracking up on the big screen here, but I can't start that sonde until we get outside, so it doesn't screw up the calculations and all that stuff. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna put you guys back on this mount, and then I'm gonna take you guys, well, I'm gonna go grab that other cylinder of helium. I think this actually works pretty good, just doing it like that, don't it? How's that? Is that okay? Good. Ah, shoot, hang on, I hit a button here. No, I don't want to watch Netflix. I want my HDMI. Because we're going to put the tracking up on the big screen here. What does this do? Yep. Test? We're going to put the tracking up. Oh yeah, it's working fine. TV's just a jerk. Alright, stand by. I'll do this fast. Got it? Oh, got it. That's probably a good 100 pounds. Holy shit. Oh, yeah. It's heavy. So if you've never dealt with these compressed cylinders, we've got the balloon pinched off. If you weren't watching earlier, we ran out of helium. So this tank's empty. It's closed off. We're going to remove our fitting and we're going to transfer it to this. Before you put a fitting on, usually you want to crack it just to blow the dust out of there so you don't get dust in there. Are we in frame if I do that? Yeah, that's the little one. That's why I didn't want to get a big one, because this big one is probably like 160 pounds. And I can carry it like this, But when you're carrying it like this, like it hurts your knee. Like if you like lean forward, like it's not empty, okay, but full, it's probably not the best idea. So, all right, we are pinched off on the balloon. Well, no, because I think this has a check valve in it, but so just a standard CAG 580, and it should thread in. It's not threading in. There it goes. A little bit of a burr on the thread there, but not my tank, not my problem. So, all right, so we're good. So to recap, to pick up where we left off, we're trying to get this balloon up in the air. Obviously, a special hello to Paul and the folks from Totex. You took a 22 and shot down some mistletoe. Yeah, you could probably shoot this down too. What? Some days I wonder. So a big hello, I guess, to Paul and the folks from Totex. I guess we have the people from Japan that actually make our balloons. Okay, yeah, there's Paul. So anyway, if our Totex friends are watching, this is obviously a Totex 200 gram balloon. I do not use the WOYE or the whatever the HWOYEE balloons. I was actually sent one of them as a sample from a vendor that we don't even buy stuff from. It was when I bought this, the filler. They sent me a sample. I don't know why, but it's like a plasticky. The balloon almost feels like the parachute, but these are natural rubber. Like this is actual latex. You know, somebody has to go out, pound the thing in the tree, harvest the latex. So this is also good for the environment, which is cool. You know, so. We got the 200 balloon hooked up. We've got probably 200 grams of lift, so we're doing a switch over. I guess this was a good practice. Now we know we can switch over. All we need is the zip tie to pinch it off, which I actually don't even think we need because I'm 99% sure that this is an actual regulator and it won't backfeed, but it's good practice. So we're going to fill this up a little more. This isn't actually going to expand anymore. This is as big as it's going to get on the ground. When it goes up in the sky at high altitude, it will expand to like 30 feet across. But this will not get any bigger. It's just going to add more basically PSI in there if you want to call it that. So this is how we're going to do it. We've got our parachute, our sonde pretty much hooked up. As soon as the balloon picks up this weight, this is 600 grams exactly, including all of the fittings, including the nozzle. When it picks up this 600 grams, we know that it's got the proper amount of lift to get about 5 meters per second up, which is like 12, 13 miles an hour, roughly, give or take. It is dumping rain outside. Because it's dumping rain, that's going to be additional force put on that balloon. So we're going to overfill this thing just a little bit. So we're going to let it hit 600 grams, and then we're going to let it float a little bit, and we'll keep that gas on for maybe another 10, 15 seconds. So typically it takes roughly between 60 and 80 seconds to fill a balloon with a full tank. When you're just trickling it out like we saw earlier, it obviously takes much longer. Yeah, we are going to launch it outside. So that's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. Our internet router is there. I have an access point going outside later today. We run all of our streams wirelessly through wireless LAN. So I don't know, I can't take you guys all the way out there because I have to go outside and walk toward the field because I need to make sure it clears the buildings. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to, I might just have to leave the camera at the door and leave the door open. Yeah, this fits through the door. That's like a 14-foot wide door. For sure. Let's go, we need to go check the sonde hub predictor real quick. I want to see where this is roughly going to fly, just so I know which direction it's going to take off. We can predict the flight, and you can see if we look at Radar Omega, we're just socked in with this heavy rain, which is yuck. So we're going to look at sonde hub predictor. I'm not even going to switch the screen here. Actually, I will. Stand by. No, I won't. Yeah, I will. Hold on, let me bring it up full screen. So what I'm going to do here, this is a free tool, open source from SondeHub, so thanks to them for having this. This is going to give us a rough, it's not even a rough estimation. It's actually a relatively accurate estimation of where this thing's going to go. I'm trying to find our launch site here. Shoot, where do we launch from? I can't even find my road. We go out B, Spring. Is it not on the map? Whatever. I just know that we're somewhere out here in this location. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a site roughly right about there. I know that the launch altitude is about 270 meters. We're launching at 1558. Shit, what is the current UTC? Current UTC is 1815. So we're going to go 1830. And ascent rate bus. We're going to use the burst calculator. I think we're going to click KMOT 200. Payload mass is roughly 250. Well, that's like 230. This isn't super important because we already know these numbers mostly. So we're still predicting it to run up there burst by Fond du Lac, up there by Aden, and probably fall. These do have a little bit of a higher ascent rate usually, so it'll probably fall closer to like between Sheboygan and Fond du Lac. So we still expect this to go take off and go northeast. So still expecting it to take off and go northeast. I'm going to shut this so we can open that and not have all the nice warm air come into the, or cold air go into the shop. When you track these, you go to our website, projectweathereye.com, wxeye.org, and you'll see down here in like on this widget, it'll be the same on your phone. See here, all soundings, and then you click on the month that you want. Now, right now, there's a couple of, let me refresh. There's actually, we're picking up a National Weather Service sounding because we're using the receiver out in the car. That's this DFM 250 33341. That's a GRA radio sound. That's not compatible with our ground receivers, so you're not going to see all the data. I'm going to delete that out of there. Otherwise, these are all ours, but you'll see another one pop up, and the identifier will be IMET, IMET dash something, and it'll say near Stoughton, Wisconsin, or town of Pleasant Springs or something. So I'll point that out, but this is where you go to see it, and you'll click on it, and you'll be able to view this live. For example, here's one that we launched previously. And you'll get a data display like this. So you'll get the map of the current location, and this updates in real time. You're going to get basically these are your current statistics right here. So temperature, dew point, pressure, altimeter, that's your elevation, your height, wind speed and direction, and then the ascent or descent rate, vertical speed, up or down. Here's your chart. Here's your charts for temperature and dew point, wind speed, and altitude. When you go up into the menu bar up there in the top left, I want to make this known to you guys. You can change the window, which is the length of the graph. You can go full length or half hour to zoom in. Your units, you can copy the link and you can output into National Weather Service formats like BuffKit, U of W format, SharpEye, and CSV. And then what you do is if you go over here to sounding analysis, that's where you're going to get your SKU-T. Now, folks, this is something we have developed. This is not Sharpie. This is not MetPy. We made this, and that's specifically me. Here's our hodograph up here, and this is going to calculate storm motion, CAPE values, lapse rates, all that stuff in-house, done here in your browser. It's really cool, and it is mobile friendly. And what's awesome, if you go over to the SKU-T, you can actually zoom into the part you want to look at. So if you want to look at an inversion, boom, it's right there. No more of this looking at a static PNG. This information is going to flow in as it happens. We do not have a receiver set up on our building yet, so we're using the receiver that's in my truck right now, which I want to confirm that the receiver is on. So let's pull up this GRA sounding and see if we're tracking the GRA sounding. This is a National Weather Service radio sound that's in flight right now. It says it's live, and the last update, yep, we see it's pinging right now. It's down here over Dakota, Illinois. And you'll see that these GRA radio sounds are not compatible with our system. Which is why we don't fly them. But see, we have no wind data. We have altitude, but we have temperature data, but we don't have dew point data. So we don't get a full sounding out of these GRA radio sounds from the Weather Service. We will. I just have to build the capability. But this is kind of our, see there, it just moved. Every 5 seconds, you get data. You get new data every 5 seconds. No more waiting. No more waiting. This is awesome. So, yep. So it's confirmed that the ground station's on and it's working. So I guess let's light this thing up and blow this balloon up the rest of the way. I may want to pull the IQ camera. No, we'll go like this. This is all right. So to recap, we know this is 600 grams. All of this plus the lift we need to pick that up weighs 600 grams. One thing first I forgot to do. Hold on. All right, so we have been writing supporters' names from our GoFundMe on our radio songs and sending their names to like 100,000 feet. So we are going to, since we have the folks down at the New Orleans trade show for whatever it is, Paul told me, we're putting Balloon Paul's name on here. So we're gonna launch Paul, and we'll go ahead and put Scientific Sales, Totex, and we'll put Radar Omega on this one too. And then let me go and look at some of our supporters' names here. Oh, it's already up here on the screen. Hold on. Oh no, it's not. Hold on, I gotta get a couple of names off of the GoFundMe. And then I have to remember, I'll have to go back in the stream and remember who we put on here. Because I won't forget, because I've been checking you guys off so we don't sit here and duplicate everybody. Oh, come on, GoFundMe, you freaking turd. Okay. Okay, so we got Sam. We'll do 3 on this one, so we're on. We got Sam. And who the hell else? It's not showing me the... Oh, there we go. Hold on. Billy. That's an easy name. I can spell that. And Joseph. Okay. Whatever. You're on there. I will check them off. So anyway, we're going to send you guys up because that's cool. So let's get this inflated. Oh, you stupid shit. Yeah, I cut the zip tie off, you dumbass. Freaking God, good thing we caught that, or that would have blown the hell up. Holy shit. Dumbass. First time I've done that. I have to cut this carefully. I don't want to cut the balloon. We might have to replace the balloon. We'll see if the neck is... I don't know if I blew a hole in the neck. I think we're good. I stopped it just in time, so... Okay, so fun fact. I got to tell you a story about that. So I did a little bit of a ride-along, so to speak, with one of the Weather Service offices around here. It wasn't a ride-along, but I helped them launch a balloon to figure out how to do this a couple weeks ago. And they did they used a hydrogen system, but they were switching over, so they were using helium, and they just had a couple of portable tanks like this. And instead of using a zip tie, they had like a clamp, and they put the clamp on there, but it was on the balloon filler, like the actual stationary one. And they were kind of rednecking it because it was running to helium when normally we're using hydrogen, but they were switching something over or something, I don't know, and they used helium instead, so that's some portable tanks. And what's kind of interesting about that is I thought, man, I would never make that mistake, but I just made it because when they were switching over, they put the clamp on the balloon to pull the tube out and stick a different tube in it, or not pull the thing off of the base and stick it back on the base after they switched the hose over. And they didn't pull the clamp off up here, but they put the clamp back on down here, and they let it go, and they blew the neck off. So I thought, man, I'll never make that mistake, and I literally just made that mistake. So. Noted. So we're gonna go real careful here. I might have compromised that, but if I did, oh well. We're gonna go real slow. I want to just make sure this tanks first. I really, if this blows up, I'm gonna be dead. Okay, we're good. That valve likes to make a lot of noise, but we're good. There we go. That's exactly how it should be. So technically this is overfilled, right? So this is a 600 gram weight, and you can see it's taking 600 grams, right? But this should really just be hovering, like it should just barely be picking up this weight. I'm trying to overfill it a little bit because it's raining, because it's raining heavy. So that's going to be a little bit of interference with this, if you will, so to speak. So we have a safety line. This cannot go anywhere. That's safety line to the cart. I just don't want it to hit that TV. So, ta-da, we did it. So, that's that. I suppose we should probably do something now. I need to figure out how I'm going to get you guys a view of this. The main thing is going to be actually showing you guys the data coming in. The launch isn't that exciting. So, what I typically do to carry these out, I like to hold them by the chute. Then you got to hold the radius on. I'm going to go IP camera for a second. So we need to prep the balloon for launch. So you'll notice that I probably should have went zoomed in, but remember when I tied on the last stream, I tied that loop around the parachute so we could slide it up and over. That's why I did it. So let me zoom in again. That's why I tied that loop, because that means we don't have to sit here and screw around with it. I have it on the wrong side of my line though. Oh, I didn't do a very good job of tying this though, did I? All right, hang on a second, I gotta retie this. See, that's what's nice about doing this inside like this, is we don't really have to worry about the wind. If we were doing this outside, I wouldn't be chancing on tying this because I might never get it tied again. But inside, you can sit here and kind of fiddle around with it. I'm actually going to use this to choke the balloon here. Hopefully, I don't blow it. I'm a little nervous with this neck being compromised. Potentially compromised, but these are tough. Natural latex balloon, they're tough. You really can manhandle these quite a bit. You would be surprised. They're fragile, but they're not. By nature, they're fragile, but in practice, they're actually quite tough. I've been pretty aggressive with handling the skin on these, and so far, so good. So we are tied. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to, I'm going to lose my safety line when I do this. With this cart, I don't have a safety line yet. I need to add one because I don't have any holes, so I just did this. But as soon as I remove the filler, I lose my safety line. I don't actually have anything attached to this balloon right now that's a safety line, other than the tape holding it onto this neck. What we could do right now is we could take another piece of string, but again, I'm doing this very rushed. We would take another piece of string, and then I would clip a safety line to it, and then we would cut the safety line and we're done, which maybe I should do. But I'm going to go open my garage bay door, and then I'm going to roll you guys down there, and then you can kind of watch the launch. That way we're ready to roll it out. Sorry. Anybody using a headphone right now hates me. So we're going to launch this thing way over there. So I'm going to walk it out there and we're going to launch it over there. So you'll just have to kind of watch and learn, and then I'll come back in and we'll take a look. Hold on. Fit under the door. I have to wait for the thought to get a signal here. Waiting for GPS. Waiting for the GPS fix. It'll click. It'll give me a light when it has it. Takes about a half a minute. Any day. Still waiting. Building's probably blocking it a little bit. Come on. Should have a fix by now. All right, we have a GPS fix. That means that the system should start recognizing it as valid. And it should come up online here in a second. It takes about 15 seconds for the receiver to recognize it as valid, and then it'll take just 5 seconds to hit the internet. So I'm just going to wait and make sure it pings. Not pinging. This ain't good. Hold on, guys. We might have a problem with the receiver. It might just take a minute, though, too. me just log in locally. It's not getting a signal. Oh, hold on. It's locked onto the. It's stuck on the NWS radio sound right now. Shoot. Hold on a second, guys. I don't know how to take it off of that. Oh, it's running a new frequency scan. Give it a second. It was locked onto the the National Weather Service sound. So we have to let it find ours here. It's running a new. I think it just detected the thing. So give it a second. It can only do one at a time. So I forgot to clear it out of there. Oh, you're gonna have to know it. Where are you going? Okay, it just detected it, so it should show up online here in a second. Yeah. So I forgot about that. All right, it's good. So we're gonna go let it go. All right, it's a good launch. All right, maybe Keenan, can you put the link in there? I'm sure you did already, but I know you know how to find it. All right, let's track it. Here it is. Yeah, look at that wind speed. Temperature's going down. Dew point pressure. There we go. Look at that, it's already there. Look at that, she's taking off. She's gone. All right, we got to go get this information posted here. All right, it's good. We might still be able to see it. Yep. I know you guys won't. It's too zoomed out, but you can still see it. Fantastic. So let me put you guys back on. So there it is right there. So what had happened when I launched that sounding guy, or when I turned it on, it was locked onto the weather service sounding. Oops. Oops. You guys can track this too. There's a link in the chat somewhere. So this data is coming in live. Look at that, guys. She's already down there to the Highway 150 or Highway 51. It's up to about 3,000 feet already. And look at our skew T. Skew T is coming in. Look at that. Live as it's happening. This is fantastic. Let me get this tweeted out. All right, so that data's coming in live. I know my head's blocking it, but all right, let me attach a picture on Facebook here. Give me a second. This thing should start. Yep, there. You see it? It's making that turn. It's starting to get blown north. Let me go here on YouTube and grab a screenshot. It'll look real cool to add it. So yeah, thanks, folks. This was a hell of a pain in the ass to get this one rolling for some reason. Yeah, we're up to 4,500 feet. Rate of ascent is 12 miles per hour. Cool to add it. So yeah, thanks. Let's put this in meters. Yeah, so we're at about 3.8 meters per second. 4 meters per second. We're a little bit low. That could be because of the rain. Well, there we're up to 4.4. It could just be getting blown around a little bit. But it's close enough. We're roughly on target. I'm just trying to find a spot here where I can snag a screenshot. Give me a second. There it goes, guys. Look at that. We need a camera on the roof that's on like a turret that can track it so we can like zoom in on it. Major inversion layer. A little bit. Yeah, that's why, yeah, definitely looks like it. I want to see if anybody's picked it up yet on SoundHub. Yeah, SoundHub hasn't even picked it up yet, so that's why we use our own system because we just can't guarantee other people's stuff. I'm trying to tag NWS. But it doesn't work. Whatever. Checked in, tagged Stoughton, tagged radar Omega. All right, so we're gonna have the full sounding data probably right about when this thing hits, well, roughly about 400 millibars pressure. So we had an interesting dew point spike right there. What happened there? Weird. How's that look on the? So there's the sounding filling in. Ignore the parcel line right now, guys. That it's just ignore that right now. Data's streaming in. She is down the road. Let me get the chat up. It looks like our Discord bot worked. Okay, so we'll probably end up making that public because that's working. So that's our That's our launch. Does it have a minimum height that it will burst? It should burst around the way the amount of helium we put in it should burst around 60,000 feet, roughly. Because that it depends on a lot of factors: size of the balloon, weight of the payload. But we typically try to get these around 60,000. My truck is the receiver right now. I don't have a receiver on this building yet. I will. So understand that I don't know how long this thing is going to be in, like we might lose it at some point. There we go. That's better. We had a double screen. So it might go out of range at some point, but we should be able to get to at least the 400 millibars. Where I mean we're halfway there. We consider it a positive launch once we hit the 400 millibars. Weather Service considers that so that a positive a solid launch. So that's we'll go with that. I'm not seeing any issues with the data either. Everything looks good. I'm watching the data fill in. I can show you guys the raw data. Um, I mean, that's raw data. That's not the raw data I wanted, but so I appreciate it, folks. Um, let me hold on. I'm trying to bring up the data. Oh God, what is it? Sonda. Okay, this. So this is the raw data, and I'm going to show you this real quick. We'll pull away for just a second from the tracker. This is what the raw data looks like. So we've got our ID, intermet, whatever, and then this is basically the raw data. I know my head's covering it. The raw data. This is what the server is seeing from the balloon, which is pretty cool. And obviously, this can be implemented into other things, but this is what the raw data looks like. This is obviously the finished product, and I know my head is covering it. Sorry. Oh, hold on. You know what? I can get rid of that. Nope. There we go. Still got sound? Yeah. So this is what it looks like. We've hit 10,000 feet, as you can see. So the map puts a little height marker on there when you hit every, 5,000 feet or something. And this is actually receiving data every 1 second, but it's updating every five just so if you're on a bad connection, it's better for you. So here's our SKU. You see that? You notice how the parcel line left the chat? That's because the system has detected that this is a winter weather sounding. And that parcel line is basically showing us what a parcel of air would do if it was rising, convecting, whatever. So once it gets enough data, it says, oh, hey, this is not a severe weather sounding. This is a winter sounding. And it removes the cape. It removes all those calculations that aren't necessary to speed up the process and deliver a more accurate parameters. The hodograph up here in the top right, this is showing you guys the wind speed. Why won't that zoom in? There you go. Showing you the wind speed with height and everything. We'll go over these in another video, but just a reminder, you can hover over these. This does work on your phone. You can zoom in. So what you're looking at here, this is called a SKU. And again, we made this viewer in-house. Like this is my baby. This does not exist anywhere else. What you're seeing here, the bottom is the surface. So the x-axis, which is the left and right horizontal, and I know it's kind of covered by the fundraiser there. That's temperature. On the left is colder, on the right is warmer. The up and down axis, that's pressure. 1,900, 850, 700, 650 millibars, which is also height. Lower pressure at taller height. So as we go up, we're experiencing lower pressure. So what you can see here is we've got these diagonal lines, and that's why it's called a skew T, because the temperature lines are skewed. So if we follow this line all the way down, it goes down here where you can't see, but it hits 0. So we know that this line here is 0. This line over here is 10. 10 degrees C, 0 degrees C. 0 degrees C is also freezing. So the reason they're skewed is so that all this fits on the graph. Otherwise, this stuff would be going way off to the left and you would never get it to fit on the same page. So if we look here at the surface, look at this. We've got a temperature. See how the temperature is warmer and then it goes to the left? So if the temperature, the red line, goes to the left, it's getting colder. If the dew point, the green line, goes to the left, it's getting drier. If the dew point is going to the right, it's getting more saturated. If the red line is going to the right, it's getting it's getting warmer. Does that make sense? Left cold, right warm. Up, up is higher, down is lower. That's why the new data is appearing at the top. So we see here this inversion. I know somebody picked it out. Look at this goofy little inversion here. So it's warm at the surface, or well, it's warm at the surface sort of, and then it starts getting cold, and then it starts getting warm again. At about altitude was 660 feet. So at 660 meters, which is about roughly at 1,000 feet, roughly about 1,000 feet up in the air, the temperature started getting warmer. See, we're at 1.7 degrees C, and now we're getting up to about 2 degrees C. And then it starts getting cold again. So we got a little bit of an inversion there. So sometimes that's where we see freezing rain. But we would need more colder air down here at the surface. But sometimes we look for things like that if we saw this being colder, where you got this warmer air aloft, the rain falls down through the column of air as rain, and then it freezes when it gets lower. This doesn't look like a freezing rain sounding to me, though. But we're almost to that 400 millibars. Look at that. So it's dry, but it's not super dry, right? So one of the I mean, it's also raining right now, so this should probably dry out a lot once we get through what's our altimeter? We're at 14,000 feet. If we go over to radar Omega, let's look at radar Omega real quick. That's not radar Omega. What is happening right now? That's radar Omega. If we go to radar Omega, here. So if we look at radar Omega, we're going to look at the National Weather Service Milwaukee radar site, right? So this is where's the balloon at right now? It's roughly to the Dane County, Jefferson County line there on 94. So the balloon is right here where I drew that circle. So if we go to Echo Tops, can we get a different tilt? Probably not. The storm height is about 12,000 feet, or that precip height. So and it's showing we're at about 14,000, about 15,000. So we're actually probably about ready to, if we're not over the storm and if we're not over that rain, that precip, if we're not over it now, we're going to be over it pretty. Yep. Look at that. See? Look at that. See, it's starting to dry out. This is bending back over to the right or the left. See, we're at negative 15.5 C dew point, and there we were at negative 12 dew point just about 2 minutes ago. So it's drying out. We should be above the weather now. Yep. This makes perfect sense. Look at that. We're drying out. So we're above that saturated profile. And again, this is all built and maintained by Project Weather Eye. If you want to support Project Weather Eye, you can do so using the GoFundMe fundraiser. There is a link in the chat. This is crowd-funded weather science, folks. Got the Totex 200 balloon flying with an Intermet sonde from our folks at Kmont and Scientific Sales. I will publish that sounding here in a little bit. We're gonna wait for it to complete. So we'll watch this data stream in for a little bit. This is kind of cool. I love this. This is great. Anywho, it's nice to see your stuff work. Let me check the chat. I'm sure SondHub picked it up by now. Nobody's picked this up on SondHub? See, this is why I can't use SondHub. Everybody's like, just use SondHub, because it doesn't work for what we need. Yeah, it hasn't even pinged on there. SondHub's great. It's just a different purpose. I suppose we can probably go out there and get our balloon mess cleaned up. Um, all right, so I'm just looking at our all systems are go. Yeah, it's still not on SondHub. Can't believe that. Somebody should be picking it up. How big of a mess do we got out there? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. No, I don't need I don't have anything. I don't want the Sans back. I mean, if somebody found it, I would gladly take it back, but they're disposable. I can't use them again, so. If somebody does want to go find this Sand, uh, I mean, you can keep it. I would just love to have a picture of it wherever it lands. I mean, that would be so cool. Somebody found our first one of the ones we launched before, but I couldn't. I don't know who it was. I don't know. I would just want. I just want a picture of it. I just think it'd be cool. I've yet to get a picture of one of our Sans being recovered. Yeah, this thing's moving about 90 miles an hour. That's the wind speeds up there. We're about 470 millibars right now, so we're just about to that point where I'm comfortable posting that sounding. I'm just trying to go back through the chat here and see what I missed. Still hasn't picked it up. And there's nothing wrong with Sontub. It's just not really made for what we're doing. Anyway, so we can go back out there and kind of get our stuff put back together. All right, we just hit 20,000 feet. Want to tweet a little update there. There's definitely something kind of goofy going on in the atmosphere. Look at this. Whoops. See? Little like inversion with the dew point. All right, see, here's our pressure. We're at 4330 or 433. Well, I think we'll go back out in the bay and snag that thing and wait for this to get a little more data before we post the sounding. It's awesome. Anyway, okay, let's go out there. Do we still have battery? Yeah, we do. Okay, let's go out there. I gotta switch my boots because these are wet and I'll fall down on that paper concrete out there. I'll lock this. I want creeps. Big data screen up here. All right, I'm gonna record a YouTube short or like a little vertical video or something here just real quick. So give me a second. me a second. All right, so after weather headquarters here in Stoughton, Wisconsin, the big screen behind me, we've got our live streaming system here, pulling in the data from our weather balloon that we launched about a half an hour ago. And you can see this thing's already way up over here over Reeseville, Wisconsin. It's moving. Let's see, we got about nearly 100 mile per hour winds up there at about 25,000 feet. We've got temperatures all the way down to negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Dew points are about negative 38, so it's pretty dry up there as to be expected. Our rate of ascent is still at about 9.3 miles per hour up. It's starting to slow down a little bit, but we're roughly right around that 4 to 5 to 6 meters per second, so we'll call this a positive launch. And our pressure just hit 378 millibars, which means we're over that 400 millibar threshold. So this is a good launch. No matter what happens from this point on, so we can actually look at it sound compared to CT. So this is what our SQT looks like right now. You can see we've actually got a little bit of an inversion going on there. So this is kind of a classic winter sloppy mess precipitation sounding where that drier profile is above the storms. We had some storms right around here, right about 16,000 feet with tops that we looked at on radar. And once it gets above that, it's drying out quite a bit. So we had a couple of issues and frustrations today. You'll notice 2 helium tanks, and they're not inside the front wheels. Reason being, this one came out of my truck, and I thought we had just enough to be another launch in, but we had just that much, not enough. The air gas truck didn't show up. So I had to run to air gas, spend $250, and get a tank that we need. We'll still use it. This is a smaller tank, and I can manhandle this one. This one weighs about 100 to 110 pounds. This one is more like 160 pounds, so I chose to get the one that we can manhandle a little easier. So we actually had to abandon ship, leave the balloon, just tie it off on the shoreline. We got it built the rest of the way, went and launched it. We've been covering it live, we've seen the data streaming live. So a big thank you to our folks that came on, scientific sales. They provide our weather balloons and our parachutes. Those nice contact balloons that came on in hundreds, and of course, Inframed, these companies that are available for over 30 sons, of course, the radar IBS, the affiliate folks as well, and all the security systems. We're good to go. Our systems are working. We're still tracking that balloon. We should be able to post the full sounding all the way up to about 150 millibars, so it's probably go about 55,000 feet, probably within an hour or so. Okay, that went way longer than it should have. Okay, that one. I like having this on the big screen. So one thing I want to point out to you guys, you see here on the main screen, you've got map and stats. If you click on stats, you get this kind of fun little thing here. So it shows you the flight duration. So we're about 32 minutes into the flight. Minimum temperature 41.3, max has been 40 degrees, that was surface. And here's max altitude, max wind speed, 114 mile per hour max wind speed up there. And it's just a nice little stat page. I like that. And this does work on mobile. It's very nice on mobile as well. So I need to get this area unscrewed up, get this cleaned up a little bit, make sure we're closed off. Get this kind of picked back up. You'll notice this powder. This is kind of like talc or like baby powder almost. That's what's in these balloons. So in these balloons, or on these balloons, there's this powdery substance and it keeps the oils from your skin from causing problems, and it also keeps them from kind of like sticking and binding up and becoming a mess. So I think what we're going to do in the future, I'm going to get a camera mount right here on the side with an arm that can come around and go out there so we can watch the launches like that. That way we don't have to use the chair as the tripod. So I appreciate everybody, folks. You know, I know the fundraiser is a big reach, but Listen, we're not doing this for a hobby. We're doing this to actually get this data out there. This data is very important. Especially, you know, and I'm not making this political, and I don't want anybody to go make this political. I don't care who you voted for, because realistically, it doesn't matter who you vote for, they're still going to kind of, it's like they don't have our best interest in mind. But I want to make something very clear. Our current administration, and I'm not making, again, I don't want to hear Trump or Biden, I don't want to hear any of that argument. But our current administration right now is trying to nuke NCAR, which is one of our severe weather research operations, basically. They're trying to get rid of NSSL. This isn't a Doge thing. This is a politicians being freaking dumbasses trying to nuke the public services that keep us safe. If we just, the Weather Service does soundings like this. If the Weather Service can't do these soundings, I can't do 100 soundings a day. Who's going to do it? We're not going to have this data. This is the data that actually makes our forecast. I know this looks abstract, but this is the data that our models rely on. We cannot have these stupid fucking politicians, I'm sorry, trying to nuke this as a thing. This is critical data, and right now the politicians out there, and again, this is not a Republican thing, this is not a Democrat thing, this is just a bunch of boneheads that don't want to think about science. They're trying to stop this. They're trying to make it so we don't have this data anymore, and that's going to significantly reduce the accuracy of our weather forecast. I'm going to be completely real with you guys for a second. Do you guys think our weather forecasts right now suck? Imagine how bad they're going to suck when we don't have any data to use. Well, let's be real for a second. You know, we have to have this data. So if you by chance are a politician listening to this, for the love of God, stop screwing with our weather services. I completely am the first person to say, you know what, some of these weather service offices probably need, you know, maybe we do need to audit some of the spending, stuff like that, that's fine. But we can't, I was just looking for some, but we can't totally nuke the branches of the NOAA agency, or the NOAA branches that are fully responsible for data like this. We can't do that. It's a bipartisan thing here. It's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. We can't do this. There was something that just came out last night, I guess, where they're absolutely trying to nuke NCAR. Listen, guys, I don't care who you voted for. I don't care who's in office. It doesn't matter at this point. We cannot be getting rid of this data. This is public safety. You know, we're sending money for the stupidest stuff overseas, and we're doing money for, you know, we're spending money as a country on the dumbest stuff. This is not dumb stuff. This is what we need to be spending money on, not sending it to frickin' Timbuktu for toothbrushes for some kids or something. Like, we need this, okay? This is my public service announcement. This is seriously a problem, and this is honestly a threat to severe weather forecasting as we know it. And I know people don't like when we get political, but this is honestly something I need to talk about, because you need to be educated in what's going on right now with our government across the board. It's not good. Why would they want to do that? Because why not cut funding? You know, because it's the government. Like, that nothing they do makes any sense. You know, the National Weather Service is out here. You know, they're doing the best they can. They keep getting their budget chopped. You know, like NOAA's getting their budget chopped. Now they're trying to get rid of NCAR. Like, what do they want us to do? I can tell you what they want us to do. They want to privatize everything. Well, I would be happy to take some money to launch weather balloons all day. But it's stupid when we already have it and your taxes are already paying for it. That's all I'm saying. I have to hold on, I gotta zoom this page out. Our sounding is off the scale here. All right, we are at 32,000 feet. We're up here over Beaver Dam. So Dan, if you're in the chat, I think this is gonna land somewhere northeast of Fond du Lac. But yeah, and here's the deal. For you people in the chat that are asking, why would they do that? I don't know. Seriously, that's the question. That's the question that I'm asking too. Why in the hell are we, why? Just why, you know? So I agree. Why would they do that? I don't know. It's because it's the government. They don't always think, I guess. All right, I'll just clip you to my belt and see how that works. Oh shoot, we're zoomed in, aren't we? Well, let me clip you to my bottom of my coat. How's that? That way you can walk around with me. So again, I want to thank Intermet, the manufacturers of our SANs. Listen, guys, I deal with a lot of businesses, and Intermet is by far the most flexible folks out there. I got to go get the box out of the truck, but I was just sent a $3,000 package from Intermet. I got to go get. In fact, I'll go get that right now. They sent me $3,000 worth of radio SANs. We haven't paid them yet. They sent them anyway. Obviously, we're going to pay them, but they sent them anyway because they want to make sure that we're in operations. You know, they put us on a net 30. I didn't ask for it. I'm appreciative of it. But they put us on a net 30. And they said, you know what? We just need to get you, we're going to get this to you. We're going to put you on a net 30. And we just need to get you these. I'm like, all right. Speaking of Intermet, all right, a little bit of an update here. Our SOND is at 34,642 feet, 34,715 feet, 34,797 feet, 34,885 feet. See how fast that updates? Isn't that cool? So, Intermet, our lovely friends, we're going to get these SANs unboxed. And see if I can make this work here. I haven't got my mount situated yet. I'm going to get this unboxed. So they sent me our order, even though I haven't even been able to get a hold of them and make a payment yet. These guys are great. Seriously, like what I like about this company is they're very supportive of what we do. They're excited about what we do. They've given us feedback on what we do. Everybody that I've talked to there has been nothing but helpful. Yep, right there, 15 radio SANs. Yep, there we go. Look at that. 15 people. That is 15 launches. That's a lot. So I don't know. I think I'll just leave them in the box, but I just wanted to open that on camera, I guess, because why not? So 15, there's 4, that's 19. So this is why we're running the GoFundMe, guys. Like, this is an incredible cost, but the benefit of it for actually being able to provide this data is awesome. We're going to be doing our Rise 26 mission here, coming in the next couple of months. It's really going to push this to where it needs to be. So I guess we'll just set that over there. I just kind of wanted to open that just for dramatic effect, I guess. And we're actually about to have the battery die on this thing. But yeah, very fortunate to that they are a good company to deal with. All right, so we're at 36,962. I don't have signal strength on here, so I'm not sure how well the receiver is still picking it up. It's possible we could lose it. Did SonHub ever pick it up? I could go look. I'm just curious. Not that it matters. I'm just curious because once it gets out of range of my receiver, I was kind of hoping somebody else's receiver would pick it up. No. It still hasn't hit SonHub. Seriously? That's weird. Okay. Not sure why. Unless all the receivers are busy with another son. Give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back. I gotta go to the toilet. I'll be right back. Okay, where's my camera now? There it is. All right, so a little update. We're up here damn near to Fond du Lac now. It's over Oakfield. Temperature is at negative 60 degrees. Negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 90 degrees Fahrenheit dew point. Pressure is down to 185. Altitude is 40,000 feet, about 41,000 or 40,112. 90 mile per hour winds up there. So I'm just gonna kind of get shit picked up a little bit. I hate disorganization and I hate mess. So this being a mess because I made it a mess is bothering me. I do like our little launch cart. It works really well. That is bone dry. All out of helium. So this filler makes a lot of noise. It sounds like a goose. It honks when you start giving it gas. Just the air restriction, but this works pretty well. Oh, that's not. You know, let's fix that. Tape that so we don't have a loose end. All right, we're at about 44 or 43,000 feet now. This is empty, so it's not a hazard. It's no compressed gas hazard. Come on, get past there. You'll notice you'll notice that the amount of effort required to move that cylinder versus the little cylinder here is enormous. Look at that. A little bit of an update. So we're basically over Fond du Lac. This thing's still ascending. I'm waiting for it to burst. I'm half tempted to go try to find this damn thing, but we're still ascending. So we're up in the, let's look at the, I think we've crossed the trope. Yeah, so what I want to show you guys is what's interesting here is we're in the stratosphere. The tropopause is right here. So we can tell we're in the stratosphere because see how it's getting colder and drier? The red temperature line is going to the left. It's getting colder right here. Tropopause. Cross the tropopause, which is the layer between the lower atmosphere and the stratosphere. So we hit the tropopause and look at that. It starts getting warmer. So That's how we know we're in the stratosphere. We have hit that warm, or we're at the point where we're getting that solar radiation that's warming it up. So we are way up there. Yeah, this is great. So been going for about an hour. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go post our SKUT sounding real quick because it's been an hour and there, that's actually useful to people. So we should probably post our sounding real quick. We're not complete. Oh, hey, it got picked up. Look at that. It's on SoundHub. There it is. Got picked up by someone. Look at that. It got picked up by somebody in Grand Rapids. Is that? Wait a minute. Who is that? Oh, I thought maybe it was like the internet people. Yeah. So it's actually it looks like it's gonna land in the lake again. It looks like it's predicted to burst close to Sheboygan, but it's probably gonna end up in the lake. Here's our path, full path. Stats. I just want to get this posted. I think we're gonna put some labels on it here. Actually, I'm not going to label it. We'll label this. I'll do something different later on where we'll label it. I think for right now we just need to get the data published. Getting this post put together here. All right, now let me get it posted to Twitter. Did it burst? Oh, it might have. It says it did, but I think it might just be a false detection. Yeah, it's still rising, so that's just a false detect. which is common at that height. All right, tweeted. Now I can have all the storm chasers tell me how stupid I am. Sorry, that was kind of spiteful, but don't care. Somebody will have a smart comment about it. Yeah, this thing's still rising. It's probably going to burst relatively soon. Kind of hope it does. It's probably going to go out of range before we lose it, honestly. Or before it bursts. I mean, we're getting to the point where we might get out of range of the receiver on my truck because the truck's between the two metal buildings right now. I mean, we hit 50,000 feet. The Sondhub predictor is now expecting it to land near two rivers, and it should land on land by the looks of it. Which is good. Um, so yeah, data's up. Data's up. Battery's about to die on my camera. All right, let me look at the chat. I don't need permits to launch that high. It's not a permit type activity, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go in the lake. Well, it's gonna be cutting it close, but I don't think it's gonna because the prediction keeps nudging it farther west. It's gonna be close, guys. It'll probably end up in the lake. I mean, realistically. Still ascending. Yeah, we're approaching 100 millibars. I mean, we've got a full atmospheric profile here. All right, it's over Fond du Lac. It's literally over Highway 23 right now. Right over Highway 23 at about 53,000 feet. Oh boy. Um, Sorry. I gotta get better. I was distracted. I was looking at this. Still ascending. I actually thought the damn thing would have burst by now, to be completely honest with you. Uh, Usually I have to way overfill them to get them over 55. It might pop soon. We'll see. All right, chat. Where did you go? I lost the chat here. Too many things at once, I guess. Stand by. So these are I got this picture sent to me. These are our friends from Totex, the people that make the balloon, and they're out there with the Kmart folks at a trade show in New Orleans right now, and that's our folks from the Japanese company Totex watching us launch the balloon on Paul's phone or somebody's phone. So that's kind of cool. So the folks that actually make the balloon are watching us launch the balloon. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's a good balloon, folks. I mean, I'm not even saying that to kiss ass. I mean, it's better than the Woyies or whatever they are. So they are good balloons. I mean, you see me fight with them and abuse the crap out of them, and I haven't broke one or popped one on the ground yet. So they're good balloons. You get those from Kmart. Same balloons the Weather Service uses. So is the red dot to scale? Well, obviously, well, no. But you saying that made me remind myself that we're gonna make this 3D so that you can like just tilt it and then look at like how tall the balloon is, and then have the map box 3D buildings, and then you can actually like see to scale where the balloon is on a vertical profile. I think that's gonna be really cool. What is the link for the Amazon stuff? Stand by, I have it. It's not on the website anymore. I deleted it by accident, I think. I'm gonna put that in the chat here for everybody because we actually added a bunch of shit to it. Um, a bunch of shit. Yeah, the see the storm.net/supplies. That's old. That's not current. Well, I mean it is, but that's not the Amazon list. I don't know where that there it is. Let's see. I don't know what the hell happened to the. Nope, that's the wrong am. Hold on, guys. We've got the wrong Amazon list. Just hang on. We've all got the wrong one. I don't know what the hell happened with the website. I don't know if it reverted to an old one or what. We've all got an old one. Well, I didn't even know that this was. I didn't even know that that was messed up like that. I just noticed that now. I'm kind of glad somebody said something while I was sitting at the desk. Um, I didn't know that. I'm gonna go on Squarespace right now and update the website. I didn't know. I just noticed that. I'm like, wait a minute, this is not right. I'm really glad because we all had the wrong one, like every single one of us. So even including me. Um, but it's one of those things, guys, where I just don't have the time sometimes to get to this stuff. But I'm sitting at my computer right now So now I guess is the time to do it. Let me try to update that real quick. I'm gonna zoom the map out so you can see it. We're still ascending. We're almost to 60,000 feet. All right, how do I edit this? Let's see, I need a button for the link. Oops. If I don't do this now, I'll never do it. There we go. All right, it's kind of crude. Like it doesn't look right, but it's on there. That way it's updated. I will fix it later, but it's on there at least. We're still ascending. Surprisingly. Good quality balloon right there, folks. This thing is, I mean, we're at 60,000. We get 60,000 feet in a 200-gram balloon. I mean, I know that might not sound contextual to people that aren't familiar, but that's incredible. That's pretty good. Just looking at CPU usage, bandwidth, and all that on the server. Looks like everything's good. Everything's in check. I'm going to go ahead real quick and play our Rise 26 video. It kind of goes through some of what we're doing. Um, I'm going to see how to queue that up. Because I know some people are asking, like, what the hell's the point of all this? Well, I'm going to show you here. So hang on, I got to do something with the audio here. Test. Oh. Whoops. What? Okay, test. All right. Oh boy. Hold on. Test. Surprisingly. I don't know if this is right. Huh. Oh boy. Let me learning experience here. Let me get this so I can monitor. I just gotta check this here. Hold on. No, it does not have ADSB. That would be incredibly expensive to do. I mean, you're talking ADS-B transmitters, what, $2,000? Probably would be too heavy. You're talking ADS-B. Okay, so I'm going to mute my mic and open the screen capture audio.
Before a tornado appears beneath a spinning storm, before the first bolt of lightning strikes the plains, before the first updraft rises and reshapes the sky, the atmosphere whispers. A turn of the wind, a breath of moisture, a boundary tightening miles away. Moments so small, yet powerful enough to decide what a storm becomes. But these moments unfold in places we rarely reach, changing faster than our tools have ever measured. RISE 26. High-resolution intelligence into storm environments. A mission powered by passion and made possible by you.
Okay, you should have me back now. So that's kind of a little bit of what we're doing, just to show everybody. It's our RISE 26 mission. We'll learn about it on our website. Yep, okay, so the balloon burst, so at 60 something thousand feet it burst. So looks like it burst at 64,314. Or something close enough to that. 334. Yeah, 334. Whatever. Pretty close. I backed out of the page. There we go. So anyway, regardless, it was roughly 64,300 something feet. Now that it's burst, I'm assuming that SonTub should have a better prediction, but it still shows it descending. Nope, there it's got the parachute. Okay. So it looks like this thing's going to land right here. Probably. Let me show you. So it looks like here it is now. It's going to land somewhere up here between Kewanee and I-43. In fact, it looks like it's going to land in the middle between Ringland Road and Church Road. That's probably where it's going to land. We'll see how long we hold signal. I mean, we're holding it so far. It's literally going right down 23. Look at that. We've been in flight for an hour and 18 minutes. So you'll notice it's going 34 miles per hour down. So it's falling at 15 meters a second. The parachute's not open yet. Parachute's not open. This thing should descend at like 7 or 8. It's probably more like 10 meters per second, realistically. So parachute hasn't opened. It's up so high. I mean, the pressure is 90 HPA. So this thing right now is falling like a rock. And it's falling really fast because the air is so thin that parachute's either not open yet or it is open and it's not, there's not enough air in the parachute to actually slow it down. Yeah, if you guys want to go find it, go find it. I just would, if somebody wants a picture, I mean, I would love to have a picture of the damn thing. Honestly, because we should have all those names on it. I mean, you should be able to find it. It's got a bright, or it'll be attached to that bright orange parachute. I mean, it should stick out wherever it's at, but I don't need it back unless somebody wants to give it back. I mean, I just think it would be cool to have a picture of it one recovered. I don't have that yet. All right, so it's starting to slow down a little bit. It's encountering more air, more pressure. So we're down to about, or well, we're back down to about, well, up to about 110 HPA. So it's starting to slow down. We're down to about 26 miles per hour. That'll get down to about 15. Let's put this in meters. 12.6 meters per second. Okay, so the parachute's open. Parachute is open and it's starting to catch air. Our SKUT is done. It's complete. That's our entire SKUT. It will not update on the fall down. It's only ascending data. Let's go through and put this in a little graphic. Trying to find one with the proper template. Here, we'll use this. I need to make it so we can export just the stats. That would be cool. Oops, circle, I want a square. What time did we launch this thing? Oh, wait a minute. It should be in, hold on, it should be in the data. We'll call it the 1830Z sounding. Ah, god dang it. Piece of junk didn't save. Come on, Canva sucks. Like, it doesn't, but it does. I don't know how it is. It's a love-hate relationship. All right. Posted that to Facebook. I'll get it up on X here too. All right, and that's been posted to our Twitter. Let me retweet that. We're down to 40,000 feet. We might lose it here soon. Like, this is gonna start getting out of range because the building's blocking the antenna. Okay, what do we got from? So, yeah, I'm actually impressed too. So, we've gotten these all the way up to 70,000 feet, or no, 80,000 feet. And we can get 80,000 feet out of them, but you got to fill them very precisely. And I was trying to get this. I mean, I tried to target 60,000 and we got to 65, so we did pretty good. And we're just going to call this the 1830. Balloon launch, it's close enough. Sandhub lost it. Oh no, it's still there. Or did they lose it? No, it's still receiving. Sandhub didn't pick it up till it got to like Fond du Lac. Sandhub currently predicts that it's going to land somewhere on just west of Kiwani on 29. So it looks like County Highway B and State Highway 29. So this should not be in the lake. It should not be in the lake. Sweet. Well, I call it a success. Um, yeah, so we got our helium. We're good. So that's it. So I will drop the link here in the chat if you guys want to follow it along. Again, I don't know how long until we actually lose this thing. Because as it's coming, we're still getting pings from it. Let me see. So this is the raw. So right now I'm logged into the receiver, and here it is here. I'm looking to see, do we have a SNR? We don't. So we don't have a signal strength on it. This is the receiver's built-in SKU. I'm just checking it to make sure it matches ours. It does. Where did it go? Yeah, that matches. Look at it, it's still a strong signal. So here's the peak. See right here? This is our radio sound. That's the signal peak, and it's still receiving it like, yeah, we're still receiving it's pretty strong compared. See, here's the noise floor down here, this horizontal like swirly part. That's the noise floor. We're going to continue to receive this until it's below this noise floor. So we might actually keep it for a while. It's pretty it's coming in solid. Yeah, we don't, I mean, the question a lot of people have been asking. Somebody already called the FAA on me, by the way. I think I know who it was. But I want to make something very like clear 'cause people keep asking. I don't know why. Again, this isn't directed at you. It's just people have this fascination with turning me into the government every time I do something, and it's getting really old. Not that that's what you're doing, but I've been through this a million times, so I actually have the answer. The question about hitting airplanes, it's not. I mean, we've never had a weather balloon hit an airplane. There was an incident, was it like California or Utah a couple months ago, but that wasn't really a weather balloon. That was from windborne products. That was literally a sandbag that was floating around in the sky with a balloon attached. Like that was something totally different. This is definitely different. It's AI powered whatever. Um, the Weather Service launches like 100 of these twice a day, and we're not having incidents. It's a very small target, and frankly, if it did hit a balloon, the entire thing weighs like 500 grams. It weighs. Hold on, how much does my iPhone weigh? Yeah, so my iPhone weighs 227 grams. So it's like it would be like hitting two of my iPhones. Actually, no, wait a minute. Our payload, what's our payload? 254. Okay, sorry. That's our lift. Our payload is 254 grams. My iPhone 16 Pro Max weighs 227 grams. So that would just be like me throwing my iPhone up in the air. It's like we are exempt, and I have to say this not because of your question, but because people continue to like turn me into the FAA, which it's getting annoying to the point where I think the FAA is now annoyed too. Um, we have to we don't have to file NOTAMs, despite what some people were saying. We do not have to file a NOTAM because the balloon is under 4 pounds. We just have to pick up the phone and call the air traffic control and say we are launching an unmanned free balloon ascending to 60,000 feet from 1 mile northeast of Stoughton, Wisconsin at 1830 Z. And they say, okay, have a good day. And that's all we have to do. And I did that. So um, we don't have like I'm not concerned about it hitting anything because it's really no different than a bird. How much does a bird weigh? Average large bird weighs Average large bird weighs 180 grams for like a grouse or something, or a small grouse, whatever. So I mean, we're basically just flying a bird. I'm not worried about it, guys. This is an approved thing. We are part 101. We are exempt. Um, get a lot of questions about that. Good question though, but it's not really a concern. Well, yeah, 60,000 feet is above commercial air traffic, but we're going through that, 0 to 30,000 foot level pretty quick, but still. Um, yeah, I mean, you can visually see the balloon too. You have to remember these things are once they start getting experiencing that lower pressure, they go from like 8 feet around to going up to like 12 feet around. So it's a very large target. Um, very large target. I don't know, Thomas. I'm sure they're working on the EPA. It just gets so old after a while. Like I just get so tired of it. Like I get it. You don't like me. You don't like our project. Not you guys, like the haters, but like leave us alone. Like I'm not out there finding everybody that I can't stand and turning them in for violations that are not occurring. It's just it gets old. It gets really old. I don't even answer the phone anymore for unknown numbers. You have to get a warrant. Kind of not that the FAA is saying we're doing anything wrong. It's just um I got an email from the FAA regional field office, and they're like, "Hey, we got a complaint, but it's unfounded. You're not doing anything wrong. Have a nice day." And I was just like, "Cool." Any future complaints I don't need to hear about. Not that I was trying to be rude to them. It's just, because our information's public on the website. I was like, not that I was trying to be rude, but I was just like, all right, well, if you get any more, I really don't even care. So we're operating within what we're supposed to do. So I think we lost the sun. I think we lost. Nope, it just pinged again. We're down to 25,000 feet. It's just sad that we've got other storm chasers and weather people out there that are upset because they don't like us. So they're trying to cancel our weather data that they can use. I mean, storm chasers can use this weather data to make forecasting decisions for themselves, but here they're trying to cancel us, and it's just getting really old. Like, mind your own business kind of thing. I'm sorry that I don't want to play in your sandbox. Just leave me alone. That's basically what it comes down to. I think we'll probably call it a day there, folks. I'm gonna go get everything cleaned up. I got to figure out what I'm doing with these helium cylinders. After after experiencing how light that small helium cylinder is, I'm actually considering instead of carrying around two of the large helium cylinders, I'm wondering if we should carry three of the small ones because they're so much easier to deal with in the truck, and then just keep the big ones for here. That's so nice. But I want to make it again, folks. We are running the GoFundMe there. You can find it on our website. I know we've drummed up a little bit of business for it here today, and I sincerely appreciate that because this is so expensive, folks. I mean, seriously, six, seven, $8,000 a month. I mean, pissing down our legs. Um, but we are trying to get to this $25,000 goal right here. You can find it on our website, wxeye.org, and use the GoFundMe. We get that money instantly too. It's cash flow. And it was actually one of our viewers that suggested doing that versus something else like a Kickstarter. They're like, you need cash flow, which is good because we just pissed what $300 down our leg in a tank of helium. when I already pissed $300 down our leg to get one delivered and it didn't show up on time. And I got to figure out why that didn't show up on time because it was supposed to be delivered yesterday. It's possible it's air gas and it's possible that they're back maybe because they're I don't know if they're like backlogging because of Christmas, so maybe they're a day behind and they're trying to get everybody out. I don't know what they're trying to do. But it could just be backlogs for getting into the holidays, but I mean, obviously, we'll still use the helium, but it's like, well, we really didn't need to buy it. We still getting pings on this? Yeah, we are. We're still getting pings. It's at about 20,000 feet. All right, guys, have a good rest of your evening. And that's it for today. Thanks for being part of it.